Guys, thanks for watching the video. Today's video, I will be doing a what if. What if Goku stayed dead forever? So if we go back to the Buu arc, Goku originally had a date to return on Earth. So what would have happened if Goku stayed dead? To begin, Goku just doesn't get a day on Earth. So how would this affect characters? So let us talk about this now. Well, the first thing that would happen is the tournament. The tournament would still happen regardless of Goku being present. Considering the fact the tournament was inspired anyways. Now Gohan would still enter the tournament regardless of Goku because Vegeta blackmailed him in both the anime and manga. And basically, for Vegeta, he would participate because he'd want to test his power to Gohan in this scenario. However, Krillin wouldn't participate, or 18, as they only participated for Goku. 18 participated for the prize money, and she probably wouldn't be as aware of the tournament. And as for Piccolo, it makes sense for Piccolo to participate because of the fact Gohan is participating. So we would have a weaker competition without Goku. To begin, the matches would play relatively the same up until the fight with Vegeta. I should also point out everything plays the same in the Kids division, with the dialogue between Goku and Vegeta being non-existent. Now with Vegeta, when she is being attacked by Sponovich, Gohan originally was losing his cool during the fight because Goku was the one to calm down Gohan. However, if Goku is not there, then Gohan would actually intervene during the fight regardless of the rules. At this point, the Supreme Kai would then freeze him and take his energy. So then we would have a 5-man army with Supreme Kai, Kibito, Gohan, Vegeta, and Piccolo. And you're probably wondering why Krillin's not absent is because of the fact Krillin didn't participate in the tournament. Krillin only went to help our heroes. However, and Krillin goes as well, so the team would play the same with the exception of Goku. So if we assume that Kibito is still killed by Deborah, and Krillin and Piccolo could be spat on, this means that we only have Vegeta, Gohan, and Supreme Kai. But without Goku, Vegeta has less motivation to turn into Majin Vegeta. This minor detail subtracts Mu being revived. However, because Vegeta was able to take Poi Poi out in his base form, and Goku was able to override energy with Yakon, I strongly believe that Yakon wouldn't be that much of a threat to Vegeta or Gohan in this scenario. So at this point, the Buu saga would end with Buu never being hatched. Now, during the tournament, I will say this, however. As I said before, if Krillin didn't participate in the tournament, it's likely that he may not go to fight Majin Buu. So if he doesn't, Piccolo wouldn't get spat on, considering the fact he ran to try and fight Deborah after he spat on Krillin, because of the fact it was initially Piccolo who rushed in to try and attack him for spitting on Krillin, so Piccolo wouldn't have been spat on either. That is assuming that Deborah does still try to spit on him. But even still, a 5-man army, Gohan, Piccolo, or Vegeta would be strong enough to take out all of Bobby's henchmen. Because we know Piccolo's training for 7 years as well. So in the tournament, the Mighty Mask would win the tournament considering the fact Android 18 has not participated, and this would cripple the reputation of Mr. Satan. This means that I can't see any scenario for Majin Buu being hatched in this point. Now, we'll begin with Dragon Ball Super. In Dragon Ball Super, because Goku is dead, Beerus would go to the afterlife and visit him. So at this point, he would go to Earth to only find out that Gohan or Vegeta would not fit the prophecy. Vegeta would still want to train with Beerus and Whis. Because of the fact Vegeta begged Whis to train him initially, I strongly believe Vegeta would still train with him, even without Goku being there. Now, I know he needs Goku's motivation, but he would probably be motivated enough to want to at least defend the Earth against Beerus. So the next point then would lead into the Golden Frieza Saga. I can simplify this. Because the Dragon Balls would never have been used, this means that the likelihood of Frieza being revived is virtually slim to none. Unless they go to Namek. And if they manage to do that with none of the Z Fighters tracking Frieza down, then they're pretty much screwed. However, there is still one thing going for them. If we assume that Vegeta unlocks the Super Saiyan God transformation, Vegeta could still be strong enough to actually defeat Frieza. However, because he's down a sparring partner, Vegeta might actually be weaker. Other than this, there's really no way for Earth, unless Beerus himself destroys Frieza. Now, the Universe 6 tournament could still happen if Vegeta is the one to recommend the tournament. So he would have Piccolo, Piccolo, Vegeta, Gohan. Well, Gohan would participate, Goten, and Trunks. Meaning that Vegeta, they would lose the tournament against Hit. However, because knowing Beerus' character, I very much doubt he would allow Champa to swap the Earths and would simply recommend him to revive his own. As I strongly believe this is something Beerus would probably do. In the Goku Black arc, because Goku is dead, it is impossible for future Trunks to actually have Goku Black. So this is actually a good positive scenario for future Trunks. And for the Tournament of Power, this is still plausible to happen. In my opinion. And our army would be the same with the exception of Frieza and Goku. However, the question lies is who are going to replace them? And that is Goten and Trunks. Oh, I am sorry, Yamcha. Yamcha still isn't participated. However, Vegeta initially wanted to keep them out of the tournament. If we assume Vegeta would recruit even Yamcha, and if we assume Vegeta doesn't want the boys to get involved, it's likely that he would recruit Yamcha and possibly Chaozu, considering the fact that he would think Vegeta in the manga stated to leave the boys out of this. It was Goku who said they weren't experienced enough in the anime adaptation. So Universe 7 would probably lose because we would have a weaker Vegeta. So unless Universe 7 wishes everybody back, everything is doomed. So I believe I answered the question, what would have happened if Goku stayed dead forever? Just to sum this up, Gotenks wouldn't have existed in this scenario because fusion wouldn't have been possible with Goku on Earth. Gohan would be much weaker in this scenario because he never would have unlocked his ultimate form. However, he would still be pretty strong as a character. He'd just be much weaker than he was. Vegeta would actually be weaker in this scenario and wouldn't have been highly motivated, but would probably still be motivated to fight Beerus again to defend the Earth. In case of Tien Shinhan, nothing really changes with his character. For Piccolo, Piccolo would probably be weaker than he was in this scenario, considering the fact Piccolo would probably be weaker because of Goku, because of Vegeta being weaker. And I should point out about this is, if we're being unbiased, Piccolo would actually be the second strongest character on Earth because of the fact Gohan may not actually be training. And for Krillin, he and Android 18 will never participate in the tournament, but he may fight against Babidi's henchmen, depending on what I said, if Krillin decides to go, or if he just simply stays behind. It's really what you think. I personally think Krillin would have stayed behind in this scenario, but it is debatable whether you think he would go otherwise. 18 wouldn't have participated in the tournament. Mr. Satan would have lost to his reputation in the scenario to the Mighty Mask, and never would befriend him Majin Buu. Goten in this scenario would have never met his father, and would have actually been much stronger because Goku would never be back on Earth. So he actually probably would stay as a fighter, considering the fact Goku stays dead, Chi-Chi would want him to be a complete fighter. As they kind of change that in Super, it's like, no, I need my son to be a scholar, again, which really suggests that she wanted him to become a fighter. And finally, the focus on this what if. And finally, we have Vegeta would definitely be the strongest character on Earth, but like Goku would be much weaker in this scenario. He would never achieve Super Saiyan God. He would never become Super Saiyan Blue, or never have Ultra Instinct. And Goku, you would never see Goku again, unless you're actually dead. This means that Goku wouldn't actually help on future threats. So Goku would actually stay dead. So really, Goku was actually partially right when he said that threats come from because of him. So I think at the end of the day, if Goku was probably just too popular to keep dead, I feel like characters wouldn't have been nearly as developed. I also should point out Vegeta would be a lot more of a family man and would be the strongest character on Earth. So that is it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. So ultimately, Goku being dead forever might have actually, it helps unless the tournament of power occurs and if Frieza comes back to Earth. They're the only two negative outcomes. For Z, it's actually positive, but surprisingly. So if you guys enjoyed the video, thank you guys for watching. Farewell.